Now, the second day in the Alps is tougher than the first, more and longer climbing, and of course it's harder simply by dint of following on the heels of yesterday's effort. The day's intermediate sprint comes after 40 kilometres, just before the village of Bourg d'Oisson at the foot of Alpe d'Huez. And no sooner have the riders said a prayer of thanks that they don't have to climb that this year, than they're onto the 34-kilometre long drag up to 2,000 metres that is the Col du Lauteret. At 2,360 metres, the Col d'Izoard is the highest point in the race. First man over that will win the Henri de Grange prize along with €5,000. Then it's on to the final climb up to Risoul. New to the Tour, but not all the riders. The 2013 Critérium du Dauphiné finished here, as did the 2010 Tour de l'Avenir.
12.6 kilometres to the top of the last climb of the day. This is the lead group. The man at the back here, Rodriguez, must be preparing for what has been a great end to a great day for him.
Well, the gradient, Phil, around about 7%. It's an 8-mile climb almost to the top of this finishing ski resort. And in fact, Nairo Quintana rode a time trial up this in 2010 in 33 minutes. Although he didn't have to ride over all the big mountains these guys have had to digest this afternoon. So I would expect we're looking at about 35 minutes of effort left to know who's going to win today's stage of the Tour.
Well, the charge always being led by Team AG2R, a team that's been completely charged now by the young man who has proved he's got the ability to win a Tour de France. And this guy, Romain Bardet, has been protected. He's been brought up here. He's attacked on the descent of the Col d'Izoard. That didn't work, but it caused a few shock waves. Now we're running at this hill as if it was a ski jump. And I'll tell you what, I think he will attack when he gets his chance. Here we are now. The teammates are there, and that's the man in white. I saw him earlier talk to his team, and I'm sure he said, "You take me there, I'll handle the rest."
Behind at the back of the group, though, number 7, Richie Porte, is not having another good day in the Tour de France. Backed up with the one from yesterday, Richie Porte is certainly going to have to recover over the transitional stages across the southern part of France. But this is an AG2R like we haven't seen them before. And the confidence of the 23-year-old in second position there, Romain Bardet, is just thinking about stamping his authority all over this bike race.
This is Rui Costa, the world champion, has gone. They hit this hill so fast, I thought they were going to sail off into space.
Well, this man was 9th overall at the start of the day, so we're going to see another little shuffling in the overall standings tonight. I just noticed Jürgen van der Broek was not too far back. He starts the day well up in 8th position overall. But AG2R all of a sudden have decided to take the race.
And Demarchi, who won here on stage 8 of the Dauphiné last year, has now put in a move which I think we expected, though he struggled on the end of the Col d'Izoard, but he's making a move. No reaction yet from the break.
Well, you know, Phil, after the breakaway of yesterday, he said, I don't know if I'll be able to recover. I don't know if I will have the energy to get myself into the breakaway again today. Well, he got himself into the breakaway, the important breakaway of the day. He was dropped a little bit going up the Col de l'Izoard. He struggled, found some courage to get himself back into the race, but he will be hyper motivated by this climb. When you've won somewhere in the past, it just gives you that little bit of an extra nod when it comes. But Jose Serpa is the man coming across the gap there with the pink sleeves on, Colombian rider on Team Lampre.
I feel that Demarchi probably feels, having won here when he beat Chris Froome no less and Andrew Talansky last year in the stage, he might feel this is his climb privately and he's going to reclaim it today. He's looked over his shoulder. He's seen Jose Serpa coming up. This is a big move by a very talented climber, Serpa, but you never know whether he's going to win or lose dramatically. But he looks as though he's got the bit between his teeth today.
2 men in the lead group, but they are still being chased by a group which is being led constantly by Geraint Thomas, who's doing everything he can for his teammate. There you can see, just sitting in second place, Mikel Nieve. He's hanging on to the wheel of the Welshman, just asking him, taunting him to chase down the 2 leaders.
We are at 10 kilometres to go. The break is under pressure. We're pulling away from the chase. 52 seconds. That is Nicolas Ede just ahead there. As we go up to the we're at the front runners now with Serpa as they're out inside now. 10 kilometres to go. And Demarchi, I don't think he was expecting to be joined by Serpa, but he's going to have to handle him.
He's got to hang on to him. The big advantage they've got on a climb like this, Phil, is it's a fairly steady gradient all the way to the top.
He's going to attack him. We've cut away, but I'm sure he attacked him there.
That was a little accident, it was, but he was quickly covered there by Jose Serpa in that dark blue jersey with the pink sleeves of Team Lampre. These two guys now know not too far behind, Phil. They will, I feel they need to work together, but the yellow jersey group is only at 46 seconds, which is around about 750 metres.
Yeah, that wasn't really attack. It was to see where everybody else was. Tanel Kanga, it's now also being dropped away here. 10 kilometres is the marker point. He's coming off the peloton, where he's been a right-hand man for Nibali. And Nibali will have to go. But look at this now, because this is another move as the riders continue to split up. That is Mejka who's making a move there. And we're now looking at the break here. This time is an attack, though. Demarque is having none of this. He's gone with 9.4 kilometres to climb to the finish. This boy has tried 3 times to win a stage of the Tour de France. He's failed every time. He's ridden very sensibly today. This one he wants. Maker is very recovered extremely well from his huge effort yesterday. Now that's the very select chase group here now, as this is Geraint Thomas's day is done now. These are the men up front, and look at this now. Maker is coming right up behind Demarque.
Well, this is a look over your shoulder there, then all of a sudden you know you're about to get reinforcements from the back end of the race.
He's actually tapped him and he said, "Get on my wheel, come with me," which is exactly what Demarque has done.
Now, that was a man, by the way, who finished sick. Oh, Fulksang, job done for the day. Not surprising, Phil. Let's not forget this guy's body must be in absolute agony. He's bandaged up on both arms and his leg.
What a great job he's done today. He's perfect.
Phenomenal job on the descent to pull back the breakaway of the man in that white jersey there. And of course, is Romain Bardet.
The return of Rodriguez, the virtual king of the mountains, as he comes up to those 2 leaders now. They're imploding all over the road, but 43 seconds is a good advantage at 8.8 kilometres to climb, especially if those 3 get together.
Well, that was the move of experience coming from Joachim Rodriguez. Geraint Thomas slipping away now, having done a phenomenal job here. There's Jürgen van der Broek. He's also in difficulty. This is the man who started the day in 8th place overall, but he can't follow the pressure of AG2R trying to set this up for Romain Bardet.
I think Maker's going for gold on his own.
Well, he's seen this as an opportunity. He knows how quickly the group behind are coming up to him, so he wants to take this opportunity. He also knows that at 8 or 9 seconds behind him is Joachim Rodriguez, but 30 seconds, 36 seconds to be exact, to the yellow jersey group is really not very much.
I'm not sure whether, in fact, the man in white here, Bardet, can attack at the moment. They are climbing this hill so quickly, it will be a very difficult thing to lift the pace even by a kilometre an hour. So we're looking at the face of the youngster here. We are seeing a dramatic battle of a climb the Tour de France has never attempted before. It finishes and the climb does not relent all the way to the line. We're being led up this climb by the Polish rider, Rafał Majka, who has finished 6th this year in the Tour of Italy. Now, Jose Serpa, who looked to be the likely winner, has cracked and is going backwards. This is the yellow jersey group here.
A very select group of riders. A chance here to see the kind of gears that are used on this gradient. 8 to 8.5% is the average. This man looks over his shoulder, Rafał Majka. He's got 2 riders chasing him. Joachim Rodriguez there, number 21, with Alessandro Demarque there in the lime green. They're a long way down in the overall standings, but they're still holding on to around about a 15 to 20 second deficit on the lone leader, while 20 seconds behind them is the yellow jersey group. You can just about see into the dark glasses there of Alejandro Valverde, locked onto the wheel of the yellow jersey, Vincenzo Nibali.
19 seconds to Rodriguez, 46 to Nibali, as we watch real mountain goats there running across the top of the Alps here above Risoul. And we've never had a tour as good as this for years. Everybody believes there's something in it for them now. And this man particularly, second yesterday in sensational style, just behind Nibali. He planned this move in the breakaway all day for Maker.
Well, it may well pay off this afternoon, because just looking at the faces of the riders in that yellow jersey group, Phil, everybody is, as they say in cycling jargon, on the rivet. That means they're sitting right on the front of their saddles, doing the maximum just to stay in contact with the wheel in front.
Well, the contacts are cracking up here, because this is Kruijswijk, and he was in the breakaway, Stefan Kruijswijk. Also dropped now from the front of the groups. They're just riding past those breakaway men as they continue to hunt. Well, look at these two here, first and second in the Tour de France, their face looking totally passive, and they're waiting to see just how close they get. There's still 6.5 kilometers to go.
Alejandro Valverde, poker face on the Spanish rider, right behind the yellow jersey there of Vincenzo Nibali. Romain Bardet is dreaming of a victory in the Alps. He sits in third place overall at the start of the day, but one man is looking to spoil the party. 6th overall this year in the Giro d'Italia. He knows how to ride these mountains. He's got himself into a rhythm. He's just got to time trial to the top of this climb to create the great surprise.
24 years of age. He'll be 25 in September. Look at the face of Joaquim Rodriguez. He's had such a wonderful day, but he wants to finish it off. He wants to win every climb of the day, and he's got to win the stage to do that. Demarchi, this man is remarkable, Paul. He appears to crack. He comes back, but now I'm afraid they are going to wipe him out. They can't survive that. Soon it's going to be the select chasing the one.
Well, there's not many men left in that group at all. The rider from AG2R who's doing all of the pacer making is in fact the Luxembourger on AG2R, and that of course is a guy by the name of Ben Goster. I saw him come up to the top of the climb yesterday. We've hardly mentioned his name throughout the start of this Tour de France, but he's proving to be a phenomenal climber and a great teammate. A little bit further back you can see in 7th or 8th position TJ Van Garderen, and behind him is Jean-Christophe Perrault. And also in this group, Frank Schleck is doing a very good ride.
There are 18 riders in that group, as we're now chasing and shortly going to join Demarchi and Rodriguez. And then it'll be 19, 20 riders chasing one as they toil the way up this climb, which is only first category. It is steep, and he keeps on kicking and kicking. He's now 5.8 kilometers to go, and the yellow jersey of 51 seconds behind the leader. He's actually riding away from them just now.
Well, he's getting into a phenomenal rhythm of his at the front end of this race, and he's also got the advantage because in the group behind I also noticed his teammate was there too, Michael Rogers, the Australian, just sitting there quite happy to leave everybody else to do this pacemaking. This is young Simon Yates. Also, he'd survived for quite some time now. He's about to get picked up as well. He was in that early breakaway. He now is in the group with the heads of state of this year's Tour de France.
Those young legs just 5.5 kilometers too far, but what a great breakaway. In the lead from the 5th kilometer today. And now being passed by a very select group of Tour de France bike riders. These two are persisting. They haven't got any closer yet. Rodriguez isn't going to wait for them. He wants the win on the top. He also wants any points he can get his hands on. First 6 riders over the line get King of the Mountains points. If Nibali were to win today and he didn't finish in the top 4, then he would lose the polka dot jersey. He's won back today.
We're just looking into the eyes of Joaquim Rodriguez. He's fighting back from a very serious injury, but this man is riding away. It's a grimace on his face, by the way, just to remind you, not a smile. He's going through all kinds of pain, but he stretched his lead out to 57 seconds over the yellow jersey group. And actually, Phil, to put it all into perspective, they don't really have any real reason to chase him down and catch him because he's a long way down in the standings.
Yes, Matcha can just start to dream, I think, of victory if he keeps this up.
Yes, he's an hour and 49 minutes behind the yellow jersey of Vincenzo Nibali on today's stage. Alejandro Valverde, I think, is riding very solidly in this Tour de France, and he's got the big advantage of having a couple of teammates in the group with him. Just on the back of the group, number 13 there was John Gadret.
They have just passed 5 kilometers to the end of this amazing stage of the Tour de France. All of the select are in that chase group. There's the 5 kilometer banner behind us, and it looks to me as though Maker has got a real chance here now at 5 kilometres to go. The last 2 kilometres, he's been adding to his lead and not being caught. These two, I can't say the same, because they are being chased down behind by that select group.
Well, they've got 10 or 15 seconds between themselves and the yellow jersey group. Joaquim Rodriguez just hoping to get himself a few more points on a day like today. This average gradient from here right the way up to the finishing line is a gradient of 8%. The yellow jersey group there with Romain Bardet in second position. There you can see the other Frenchman wearing number 151 is Pierre Rolland. They're all here. Everybody's waiting, but nobody can make the move.
There's been 4 outstanding French riders vying for their top general classification, and they're all there. This is the man, though, who's shocking the world here now, Makeup. He's not unknown, but he is still very, very young, and I think on this day he's proved to us he's maturing fast. Hit 1 minute 10 now. They're not hunting him down because there's no yellow jersey for this man at the top, but it would be his first ever stage win in a Grand Tour. And now it is Pierre Rolland who attacks at the front. Everybody looks at each other, including Bardet, because he was pouring water over his head and there was no reaction. Now is he going to take up the chase?
Jean-Christophe Perrault is the next man to come across there in the yellow helmet. He's seen this as an opportunity. Pierre Rolland is quite a way down in the standings. He was 13th at the start of the day, but he's looking for a good 9 minutes to pull himself back into this race.
Pierre Rolland, a little wry smile on his face here. He's been caught by the teammate of the white jersey, Bardet. Bardet is yet to attack, and he promised us he would, and he hasn't done so yet. Rodriguez looking up now, knowing they're coming. He's still in with a chance, more than in with a chance. He's steadily riding away from all of the action behind him. He started the climb with a 40-second advantage. He's now 70 seconds in front and looking in his first Tour de France to grab a stage win here. There's still efforts being made as riders are constantly picked up. Is Pierre Rolland going to go again? The answer is, I think yes. Yes,
he's got the big gear in. He's got it on the large chainring. That's Arnaud Jonlezon just behind him in the dark blue jersey. This is really throwing caution to the wind. The Spanish national champion coming forward now for their man Alejandro Valverde. That's Jon Izagirre.
Well, while all of the players are coming on stage, the lead actor is just watching and waiting. And as I speak, he goes. Nibali has made his move. At the moment, I thought he'd let them all just dice with him. 4 kilometres to go. It's a case of déjà vu. Now, are we looking at stage win number 4? He's got a bridge 70 seconds to the leader.
Look at that acceleration. These guys all looked at each other to say, what was that going for? But Jean-Christophe Perrault has decided that he can respond, and this is a very rare situation that Perrault has managed to come up to the wheel of Vincenzo Nibali. Now, Perrault has said at 37 years of age, while the rider in second position, his dream is a podium position in the Tour de France. He came to road cycling very late on in his career, having had a phenomenal mountain bike career before that.
Beneath the legs of the yellow jersey, the clock is melting in the Alpine sun. It was 70 seconds, it's now 60, it's now 59. He's left himself 3 kilometres to bridge a minute.
Well, you can see there is Joaquim Rodriguez slipping back here this afternoon. As you said earlier, Phil, as you did the maths very quickly, if Vincenzo Nibali goes on to win the stage here this afternoon, he will leapfrog over Joaquim Rodriguez again in the King of the Mountains competition.
What a Tour de France this is now. Vincenzo Nibali is showing us he's riding with the confidence of 10 men here. The Italian's about as close as he'll get to his own country, across over the French frontier here. And a counter move by Valverde, also seeing Nibali go, has had to counter the move. Frank Schleck doesn't have the answer, and neither, I don't think, does Ryan. TJ is going to see if he's got the answer. Left behind on the descent of the Iswad. He knows now it's this or never, and he's being marked quickly by Pinot.
Well, let's not forget the American there in the black and red jersey has already finished 5th overall in the Tour de France. He's currently lying 5th at the start of the day. He came across the gap very quickly to Alejandro Valverde, looks across at the Spaniard and said, right, mate, I'm off now, and I'm going to try and climb up the overall standing snipe. But coming back to his wheel, very, very smartly there was Thibaut Pinot.
What a battle. Everybody thinks they can win the stage today. As they make the moves, their legs get tired, they get back together again. Valverde's come up, Pinot's come up, and so too has Bardet. 3 kilometers to go. The gap is 52 seconds. The yellow jersey versus a similar yellow jersey of the Tinkoff rider, Maker.
Well, Maker just holding on to 53 seconds, but it's the drama of the battle behind of the riders who are all looking to move themselves into a podium position. Pierre Rolland tried dramatically early on. He put a lot of energy into trying to break clear from the yellow jersey group, and now he is paying for those efforts.
Tour de France should now be called the Tour of Survival here. It's been a defiant show by Maker. He had 40 seconds at the bottom of the climb. He's now got 47 seconds at 2.5 kilometers to go, and Nibali is after him. Rolland has paid the price of his attacks. He has been unshipped at the back. So has Leopold Koenig, who was third yesterday.
I was also looking for Bout Mollema, who seems to have disappeared from this leading group also. There is Thibaut Pinot, 1:27. Alejandro Valverde quite prepared to do the pacemaking, but Pierre Rolland is surviving there. Just managed to get back to this group. Now another acceleration coming from Nibali now, and can Jean-Christophe Pirot respond this time? The answer is yes.
Yes, but his head was shaking and he was gritting his teeth, but he's stuck in there. These professionals are digging so deep now into their suitcase, that's for sure. Pierre Rolland on the back wheel of TJ Van Garderen, who's on the back wheel of Frank Schleck and Bardet.
Well, the guy setting the tempo on the front here is the reason. There's a move.
He's launched another one. Valverde's after him. He doesn't let a move go by, Alejandro Valverde. As he gets back into the state of play, they quickly hook up. The two top Frenchmen, separated by 16 seconds in that race for the white jersey, are like Siamese twins in this move.
Well, there's Leopold Koenig slipping off the back of this group once again with Pierre Rolland. There's Frank Schleck that time, just on the back of the group of TJ Van Garderen. Yellow jersey, Vincenzo Nibali won't get any help at all now. He has to control this race. He's got the responsibility of chasing down. But look at that gap now. It's down to 35 seconds to the lone leader.
Paul, our cameramen are having to dodge all over the mountain. I've never known a Tour de France where every group is attacking each other. And it's 1.9 kilometers to go, and the gap is now 32 seconds, and the clock is plummeting. Oh, it's just gone up a second, the first time. As we get 2 kilometers to go, we're looking at the yellow jersey here. Christophe is still behind. They are saying on the race radio 35, but I don't believe them. Although on a mountain, it could be.
Well, it's just a question of Vincenzo Nibali needs to look up ahead of him, and I would think the gap is not very much more than 15 to 20 seconds, but it's a bigger gap back down to the group containing TJ Van Garderen. There they are, but that group now is down to just a few riders. Thibaut Pinot is there, and the white jersey, Romain Bardet.
And now it looks as though they've unshipped here Alejandro Valverde, and also there is Leopold Koenig. Also, he's come back actually to Valverde, but I think for the first time this tour, Valverde's actually cracked there, and it was that latest attack by TJ Van Garderen with the two top Frenchmen, and the surprising Frank Schleck, the champion of Luxembourg, makes that foursome there. 32 seconds, the clock says. We're looking for the leader. Our cameras are completely deployed against the leaders of the tour, just attacking each other. Laurens ten Dam left, Koenig, and then Valverde here.
Who would have expected this man to crack on a climb like this? Alejandro Valverde, Leopold Koenig moving forward there, number 201. He started the day in 10th place in the overall standing. Everybody's becoming an ally in this race now, because this is a race of survival. That's Pierre Rolland in third position. The man just coming into sight now, Laurens ten Dam. This is an amazing climb. They are throwing everything they can at this race this afternoon. They do know that it's a slightly easier stage tomorrow, but for the moment, we're trying to race into this bike race, and this is Thibaut Pinot. Then it's followed by Romain Bardet there. TJ Van Garderen in second position is doing a phenomenal ride this afternoon.
Every second counts. Laurens ten Dam made an acceleration on the right. Valverde tried to follow. Can he follow? I'm not too sure he can. And ten Dam has sensed this. No, they can't follow. All these riders with one at the end of the number, the leaders of their teams, and the left are floundering on the climb. Well, everybody said, oh, it wasn't a hard climb up to Risoul, but boy, it has provided us with the best racing so far in this Tour de France.
Well, looking for 1 kilometre to go. The lone leader there, Rafael Maker, has got 30 seconds advantage still over the yellow jersey group, and they're coming up to the steepest part of this climb.
We're looking for 1 kilometre to go. We've just got 1 kilometre to go. Now can the man who was second yesterday converted into his first ever stage win in a Grand Tour and his first ever attempt at the Tour de France. Now this is Nibali here. He beat Maker yesterday. Now can he catch him again?
Well, he's going to try, but what he's also doing, Phil, is putting big time between himself and all of his other rivals inside of the top 10 in the overall standings tonight. Apart from Jean-Christophe Perrault, he's just hanging on there, thinking that he can get himself closer to what is his dream, and that, of course, is a podium position in Paris.
Well, Jean-Christophe Perrault could put 3 Frenchmen in the top 5 in the Tour de France if he keeps gaining. They are under 35 seconds is the gap at 1 kilometre to go. And they're saying 31 on the screen, but the race radio had a watch on that. They told us 35 as they come up to the kilometre sign, so he's not going to catch Maker. The Polish wonder man, who is in his first Tour de France, is going to win the stage. And TJ is 17 seconds now back of the yellow jersey as these 3 go towards the summit as well.
Well, Phil, we're looking here actually at the future of cycling. 23, 24 and 25 years old, those 3 youngsters there as they went inside of the kilometre to go banner themselves.
And Valverde's had a horrible last 5 kilometres up this climb. He's being left, each of the riders moving around him here. This is the situation with Van den Broek also in trouble at the back.
Well, he's losing currently a good 4 minutes on the leader on the road and probably a good 3.5 minutes on the yellow jersey. But these guys now are really throwing at each other. That's Pinot in the dark blue, TJ Van Garderen in the red and black, Romain Bardet in the white. Frank Schleck is really starting to find his form in the second part of the Tour de France this year.
And these 3 riders look at each other, and Nibali comes up towards another mountain top finish here, but this time not as the winner, but he is gaining time over all of his rivals. This man here, Rafał Majka, his fans will not be surprised. They've been writing to me every day saying, watch him, watch him, watch him. Well, today he's done it. He gets his first ever Grand Tour stage win, and this in his first ever Tour de France. He won't care. He's more than an hour behind overall. Rafał Majka is still squeezing out every second. He must know that Nibali will chase him to the line. This is the moment for the man who won't be 25 till the month of September, the biggest win of his career. Rafał Majka wins his first stage in the Tour de France.
Now this is a race for second position on the stage today. Jean-Christophe Perrault is coming up there, and he's been assisted right a bit to the line by Vincenzo Nibali, who says, no mate, I'm going to have second place on the stage here this afternoon. But for Jean-Christophe Perrault, that drags him a little bit further up.
There'll even be a couple of seconds time gain over Jean-Christophe Perrault as a second place for Nibali today, but more importantly, another show of another display which puts more time against all of his rivals. And the 2 Frenchmen, separated by 16 seconds for that white jersey, come together and they're still attached. And still, it's a matter of honour for Pinot. And is he going to get it? Ooh, I think he did. But he gained no time at all. TJ Van Garderen comes over the line as well. Frank Schleck just gets better and better, the champion of Luxembourg, as does Laurens ten Dam. He's becoming the leader of the Belkin team here because Bauke Mollema seems to be falling away.
Yes, ten Dam started the day in 12th. There's going to be some serious changes. Good ride by this man as well, Leopold Koenig, who comes up to the line next. There at Valverde. He's lost a big chunk of time on the yellow jersey this afternoon.
Yes, and Valverde is beginning to slip away.
Yes, 10th Valverde, and heading straight for the team bus, although it takes a smart rider to slip away from Matt Rendell.
Hay un día muy duro.
Sí, un día duro, pero bueno, salvado.
Well, he certainly saved second place today. Now, as far as the stage went, it was a race-saving, face-saving win for the leaderless Tinkoff Saxo. Good job, Rafał Majka deleted that Facebook posting complaining about being called up at the last minute.
What a fantastic win. I know you had, at best, maybe mixed feelings about the Tour de France, but I guess you feel fantastically positive about it now.
Yeah, I remember when I stayed here, first time in a training camp in risoul. This is the climb when I really like, and first victory in career in Tour de France.
You like this climb. You liked Chamrus yesterday. You are extremely strong in the Alps.
Yes, I'm like when it's then and only one time climb. It's more climb before the last climb is because race is coming more hard, and for another rider it's really difficult.
What does this mean to you now, winning your first stage on the Tour de France?
I'm really happy, and maybe this is no final. It's still a long Tour de France. We try to maybe win another one stage.
There's today's result, and behind Micah it was all GC contenders. Nibali was second with Jean-Christophe Perrault on his wheel. Thibaut Pinot and Romain Bardet were locked together all the way to the line, with TJ Van Garderen just behind them. In future tours, Rafał Majka will most likely be up there challenging with those riders, but a mountain-top stage win isn't bad to be going on with. Neither is 21st and a long spell in the day's break for Simon Yates. Not that he's settling for that.
Yeah, it's hard out, you know, and it's a lot of climbing, but you've got to try, and you know, if the opportunity's there, then and I had good legs, then it might have been up for the win. But you know, all credit to Rafa, you know, and Rafał Majka. You know, he's class act, and you know, I think he showed he was the strongest today. I've said to someone else, you know, I'm quite an ambitious guy, and you know, I like to win. So yeah, just keep looking away, and you know, hopefully we'll get a win in you know, the next week or so.
Now, Richie Porte could have done with a good ride today just for morale's sake, but he lost another 5 minutes 16 seconds. Geraint Thomas finished ahead of Joaquim Rodriguez, a little over 6.5 minutes down after his hard work in the break. Peter Sagan gave a one-wheeled salute, 21 minutes down, but 20 points closer to the green jersey in Paris. Vincenzo Nibali, meanwhile, is one more untroubled day closer to the yellow jersey. He extended his lead by exactly a minute over Alejandro Valverde. Valverde is now just 13 seconds ahead of Romain Bardet and 29 seconds ahead of Thibaut Pinot. TJ Van Garderen lost 28 seconds to the Frenchman behind him, Jean-Christophe Perrault, and 4 to the two ahead of him, Pinot and Bardet.
Yeah, it's not just about me and Pinot, it's about me and the other big contenders. But I'm pretty happy because I can take time on Valverde, and Perrault was very strong, like all other my teammates. So it was a good day for the team.